Hey guys, this is Eric and Aubrey here from Edrumcenter, and we're going to talk about the DWE Roland packages with the wireless WT10 transmitters for the cymbals. Introduced in January, February, the idea behind it was to give DWE users a quieter cymbal option.
Right.
People were kind of complaining about, not kind of, they were complaining about the metal cymbals that they came out with originally. Lots of our customers kind of felt the same way, so we were glad that this was coming out as an option. Not only just came out with the wireless versions of the cymbals, but they've also updated the software, improved some of the triggering on the drums and stuff like that, and we'll cover all of that as well. Let's start off with just it has a lot more new sounds, like the SoundWorks software does, than at launch. Mm-hmm. They've added some Drewcast snare drums, Purple Heart drum kit, and what they told us they were doing, did they tell this to you as well? They were, instead of just like having like a vault of like drums they're sampling, they're like building the drums.
Yeah, they mentioned that.
And then sampling those.
Yeah.
And I guess selling those kits off eventually, which is kind of cool because so they have full control over the sampling process from start to finish. They're not just using some off-the-shelf samples and then like using a computer algorithm to figure it out. It's all from the ground up. And they sound really good. Some of these TrueCast snare drums are like $4,000 or $5,000 just per drum. Mm-hmm. So I mean, if you look at it from a value standpoint, you're getting some really expensive drums in there. And they're fun to play. There's not the usual latency, I would say, with triggering software. It's definitely not like a module, but it definitely maybe seems better than at launch. Mm-hmm. They've changed the interface that you get when you buy the package. It's now a Roland interface, and so maybe that has improved the latency, but the triggering is all really good, which kind of leads me into the next improvement, improved cross-stick functionality. Pretty good at when it first came out. Mm-hmm. And when I say pretty good, it was okay. Mm-hmm. It wasn't as good as the Roland digital snare. And so they've essentially made it so that the cross-stick function is now as good as a Roland digital snare with a TD50 or a V71 or whatever. That's one of the reasons why I got a digital snare personally. And so I'm pretty familiar with how the digital snare works. And it's just as good. It doesn't really miss anything like it used to. Seems like there's improved stability just in general. Like I can remember when we first got that our first demo kit in, which we've sold off a long time ago at this point. You would play on it, and then you would just kind of walk away for a few minutes and come back, and it all of a sudden just wouldn't be connected anymore. And we couldn't really figure out why. We'd have to restart the computer and restart DWE control, and like eventually we'd get it to work again, but it was a huge kind of hassle.
Yeah, used to it was just like when we opened up the shop, just restart the computer like 3 times just to get it to work, whereas now I haven't had to do that even once. And
I had to do it once.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I have personally.
And I think it was from like we left it on over the weekend or something.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So it was kind of a long wait. Yeah, it seems like as soon as you open the laptop back up, it just kind of fires up and works and everything. We did have to do some calibration of drums when we first hooked it up. Actually, Mark from DWE came. He flew in and helped us set this thing up. Kind of ran us through his paces, got all that up and running. But even after he left, we were noticing like you would hit like a floor tom and like it would make the snare act weird or something like that.
Yeah, it was like cutting the snare simple short.
Yeah, and so we went and calibrated at their recommendation, just hit a couple buttons essentially, and it worked. Yeah. It was just pretty easy. So apparently there's more sounds coming. They're going to make more higher-end DW kits, samples available, that kind of thing. But as it is, I mean, it's one of the best-selling drum libraries, I think, out there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool. The part that was just the coolest to me was when Mark was here, because he had asked me, because I'm slightly younger, he was asking, like, what is the kind of drummers that people in my generation are listening to, and I gave him some suggestions because they're looking for more samples. But what was cool is when I like followed up with him, like, hey, here's the drummers again I mentioned. He like made it clear that he actually was trying to reach out because one of the drummers I guess had already just picked up a contract with someone else, unfortunately. But it was like, oh, he's actually listening, and reached out to some of these drummers to try to get the sounds of some of the more popular millennial drummers, I guess you could call them. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, very cool. I mean, when DW calls you, he'll probably pick up the phone.
Yeah.
What do you guys want? Oh,
Yeah.
you want to put my drum sounds in your software? Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're definitely they took a lot of feedback when they were here. Like, there's not a whole lot to complain about,
No.
and we'll save that kind of towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
But they took a lot of good feedback, and it's definitely drastically improved since it first came out, for sure. The kit in this is the laser blue metallic, which is like the kit they made for Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters, and they decided to make it a DWE color. And it's beautiful, as you can see in the pictures. It really pops under lighting. Diamond Nebula.
Yeah.
I'm just going to make up words now. Diamond Nebula, that kit is amazing. They had that actually at the drum show.
Mm-hmm.
We were walking around, so I got to see up close. We've got video of that kit in our drum show video if you want to check it out. And we also have the Santos Rosewood 5-piece. But yeah, I mean, it's overall a pretty cool system. The software seems to work great. I'm not even that big of a software guy, and it's really easy to use and navigate. Sounds great. The triggering is great. We haven't tried it. We just tried it with the software in the DWE kit, just natively. That worked great. We plan on doing another video where we hook up a V71 or we've already done a video on a 50X with their software. So we'll do one with the V71 to kind of see how that works. Mm-hmm. And it should work even better than it does with the 50.
Yeah.
And it worked great with the 50X. So let's get into a couple of things that we had that we didn't like about it. It would be great if you didn't have to use the VH10 hi-hat, if you could use the Roland VH14, which is Roland's best hi-hat. Mm-hmm. And the reason why you couldn't use it with this is because of power consumption or something.
Yeah, something like that.
It seems like maybe they could come up with a converter box or something to make it work one day, but having to use a 12-inch hat that's not a 2-piece. I have a VH14 at home, and we play on the F-Note 2-piece and the ATV 2-piece and even the Lemon 2-piece.
Well, they said that would work with it, though.
They said the Lemon would work,
Yeah.
Playing with a 2-piece hi-hat is just a better experience.
Yeah.
A bigger one.
Yeah, so if you have like an old VH13 or VH12 laying around, it'll work with it.
Yeah, but I didn't hate playing on the VH10 with the software.
It was the best VH10 experience I've ever had.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds good. I mean, the hi-hat, maybe the sound being so good made it so I didn't mind playing on that cymbal. Mm-hmm. But everything seemed to trigger just fine.
Yeah.
The other thing that would be nice is if it worked with a digital ride, but again, power consumption or something. Mm-hmm. So the biggest ride you get on that is a 16. In fact, all the cymbals are 16s, all the crashes, but they all have bells on them.
Yeah.
Unlike on a Roland module, which only has the bell on a ride, you get a bell on all of the cymbals, including the 2 crashes.
Right.
One of the other things that we didn't like, or I think that they should address that I talked to them about is at least some dampening on the snare drum, because stick on rim is by far the loudest part of the kit now.
Yeah.
They quieted down the cymbals, but they still have these kind of hot spots on the rims. Mm-hmm. I've heard, we didn't actually try this, but I think Mark did tell us that when they added rubber to it, it just kind of messed with the performance. Mm-hmm. And so they preferred to not mess with the performance and keep the rims kind of live. So maybe that's something they'll work on down the road. It's not a deal killer. But if you're trying to be ultra quiet, that is a significant source of noise on the kit.
Yeah.
Especially since the rest of the kit, mesh heads on the drums, mesh head on the bass, all that's pretty quiet. Mm-hmm. And then the cymbals are quiet now. So what else do we have as far as a gripe on it? I mean, really, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I had way more fun playing this version with the rubber cymbals than I did the metal cymbals. Not that the metal cymbals were the worst thing in the world. It's just they were so loud.
Yeah, and they were very
so
inflexible.
Yeah.
They didn't kind of feel like you were playing on a cymbal. It felt like you were playing on a
table.
A table.
Yeah.
A metal topped table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just a much better experience playing with the Roland cymbals. And the wireless things are great. The WT10s, that they use for the wireless cymbals. They work just as good as the DW wireless. Like I didn't notice any latency. Like I'm sure there was.
No, it was really easy to get them to work.
It's probably like some very small amount of latency that your human ear can't perceive. But it worked flawless. You just sat down on it, played it, and everything triggered right. Like I never had a single miss trigger with the cymbals using the wireless or anything like that. So that's a great thing. I prefer this would be my preferred way to play the DWE is with the Roland wireless.
Yeah, me too.
Over the metal cymbals, and I think a lot of people are going to agree with that as well. Just because I don't think the metal cymbals were for everyone. There's certain people that those are still going to be their preferred way, but
one of the reasons why they told us they made those so thick is because of longevity. They didn't want to make them and then have them crack or break really quickly. So they made them thick and really durable, which is good, but it just kind of affects the feel.
Yeah.
So, I mean, now you got two options. If you want to get the rubber lower volume option, it's available. These kits, they've told us, are at the most 3 to 4 weeks out. We are taking orders on them now, so if you place an order, it'll be about 3 to 4 weeks, maybe quicker, depending on the color. We do have this kit for sale, the Laser Blue Metallic. It's going to be on our website at a discount because it is an open box. And so you can grab that one at a discount. Other than that, reach out to us if you have any questions. We'll be happy to help you. And the DW guys over there seem to be great at tech support. They're fully behind the product. So if we don't have the answer, we can always call them and ask them and they'll know. Yeah. So anyway, thanks for watching and listening, and we'll talk to you guys next time.